Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Shelly's Millions. In today's video, I'm so happy because I finally have the answer according to the EDD as to when we can expect those next two payments of the LWA $300 boost and whether or not we can expect a sixth payment. So if you need that information, please go ahead and watch to the end of this video. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has already subscribed and ask those of you that have not, that enjoy this content, to please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really helps YouTube show the video to more people. So I'm sorry that this video is going out so late today, but I was kind of waiting around for the EDD to send out the news release that they do on Thursdays, and they didn't release it till pretty late today. But it had the best information in it, which is next week is when we can start to expect those next two payments of the extra $300 here in the state of California. So they are still wrapping up paying people on phase 1 or 2. All of the first 3 payments totaling $900. And if you haven't started to receive those yet, I would go ahead and recommend calling the EDD. The number I call, and I think the only one working right now, I think they've taken down the number to the specialist for these next 2 weeks through October 4th. So it's just going to be that general number at 833-978-2511 if you have not received any payments for the weeks ending 8/1, 8/8, and 8/15. So those were the first 3 payment dates, totaling $900 that were all retroactive payments. So the next 2 payments totaling $600 are retroactive or back pay, whatever you want to call it, for the weeks ending 8/22 and 8/29. It's probably better if I go ahead and just read you what the EDD says rather than paraphrasing it. That way you guys know that I'm not making this up, that it's coming from a valid source. So of course I will leave the screenshot of this article up there. This is the news release from today, September 24th. And here is what it says in regards to those next 2 payments. Next week, the EDD will start issuing 2 more weeks of LWA payments to all individuals in both phases who previously received benefits for weeks ending August 22 and 29. Payments will be posted to either an EDD debit card or arrive in mailed checks depending on the method claimants have used for prior payments. Since individuals have different biweekly certification cycles, those who meet eligibility requirements for both weeks in the same period will receive a payment of $600, while those with the weeks spread across 2 biweekly periods will receive 2 $300 payments close together. So that's what they said on the timeline for receiving those next 2 payments. Of course, when I start to get my payments, I will make another video letting you guys know when to check your accounts as well. What the EDD has to say about week number 6 is a little bit confusing. So as some of you might remember, I did make a video titled Confirmed 6 Weeks of Payments, because FEMA, who supplies the funding for the $300 weekly LWA payment, has said that they have enough funding to give to everyone for 6 weeks of payments. So California actually has said now in today's news release that, of course, I'm going to screenshot up above and I'm going to link in the description down below, since I'm not a professional on this subject and just going through unemployment for the first time myself. What they have said is that they were approved for funding, but they aren't going to release it yet. They're going to make sure that they have enough money to pay everybody for those first 5 weeks. And then after they make sure that there's enough money for funding everyone on those first 5 weeks, that they will then issue more information about releasing the 6th week. The official EDD news release can probably also explain it better than I can in regards to the 6th payment. So again, I'll screenshot that and go ahead and read it to you as well. That says, the EDD has received federal approval for a potential 6th and final week of LWA payments associated with the week ending September 5th. The EDD will be closely monitoring benefits paid for the first 5 weeks of the LWA program to ensure that sufficient federal funds remain before issuing a 6th week of $300 payments. Details will be released as soon as they're available. So I'm not expecting that 6th payment to come quite as quickly as the payment for weeks 4 and 5, but it is good that they have said that the funding is there. In terms of the 6th week, I'm going to remain hopeful, but here's why the EDD can't exactly promise that to Californians just yet. When FEMA was giving us the payments for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, they were estimating the number of people or eligible claimants that would get that extra boost for those weeks. So since California has such a backlog of claims, it's possible that FEMA underestimated or California underestimated the number of people that would be eligible for that boost. And so even though California has been approved for week 6, if there's so many of us that were unemployed, it's possible, not necessarily definite. And I'm hoping that this is not the case, but it's possible that California might have to use that 6th week of payment to pay everybody out their first 5 weeks. So hopefully we still get that 6th week. If for any reason you have not yet returned your one-time self-certification that you are eligible for those $300 boost, make sure that you fill that out and return that to the EDD. If you weren't sent that and you already received your first 3 payments totaling $900, that likely means that you were part of phase 1 and you don't need to do anything else. So that's just if you haven't received any payments yet and you didn't get that one-time self-certification. And of course, unfortunately, the requirements to get these $300 weekly payments is that you needed to have a valid claim for the weeks ending 8/1, 8/8, 8/15, now 8/22, and 8/29. So those are all weeks that happened back in August. We're not talking about anything yet in September. So you needed to have an open claim at that time. You needed to have a $100 weekly benefit amount or higher for all of those weeks. And you needed to make sure that you didn't have like an excessive earnings warning or some sort of disqualification on the account. So if you have the excessive earnings warning on your account, you will not be eligible for the $300 boost that week. And we're still waiting on Congress to decide if something happens beyond the LWA program that's out of funding after a maximum of 6 weeks that ended in the past now on September 5th. So I think $450 is what's currently on the table, but even if it passes the House, it still needs to pass the Senate. If the Senate decides something, it still needs to pass the House. And of course, the president could come up with a way to use executive order to get some funding in the hands of the people. I am really hoping that they come up with something because I know a lot of people are struggling and we really need this additional payment to stay on top of our bills. So I will let you guys know if Congress for sure passes something else that will get payments into our hands. But as of right now, that 6th payment would be the final payment for all of us, regardless of what state you live in. And that was for the week ending September 5th. So I will let you guys know if that changes. A lot of you have been asking, so we got $900, is that it? And it is confirmed that we have enough money to pay at least week 4 and 5, and that should start to roll out next week. I'm sure you guys will do this, but I'm going to ask you to anyway. Let me know in the comments down below when you start to get that next round of payments totaling an additional $600. And I don't think that will hit our accounts all at once, but I don't know yet. So let me know, do you get the whole 600 at once? Do you get 300 and 300? And again, I will make a video as soon as that starts to come in for me. And thank you guys for rooting for me to get paid on time. I just noticed my little pillow is sideways. So I'm also going to go ahead and promote that stock trading app, Webull. I do like it, although the stock market has been down again. So it's not, I wouldn't recommend putting your last $100 in there. I wouldn't recommend putting $100 in there thinking that for sure you're going to win big and get that $1,600 stock. But after you make an initial deposit of $100 on the platform, you will get a stock anywhere between $8 and $1,600. Let me know in the comments down below if you use my link, which stock you get. And thank you so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'm so happy to be giving you guys this information today, and I'll see you next time.